Very funny. No, on the table. Very funny.
Hi, girls. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I have enjoyed.
I'm gonna start because I'm a little late. So
Sorry, the recording? Okay.
yeah, it's recording. Hello, Melissa. And
Hi, Margie. How are
hi.
you?
How are you?
Baruch Hashem.
And then
I'll be
Home
there soon.
88. Good morning. Okay. Okay. Salud. Sei gesund. Ah, and there's Sarah there.
Hi, Margie.
Hi, hi. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we're starting because the time is short. I'm sorry I'm late. Almost couldn't find a parking space. Okay, all this Torah is bringing a lot of honey to this building. So it attracts. That's what happens because there's light. Okay, so the Day of Learning is sponsored by Muriel Kurcha for Lilua Nishmat Aiha Bat Hana. May her neshama have an aliyah. Okay, so last week we were learning, we're in chapter 2, page 83, this big discussion that there was with the Rambam, that he said that Hashem is the knower, the knowledge, and the known. And all the rabbis of the times became crazy, like what is he saying? Like how can he put Hashem give a description to Hashem? And then we came to understand this with the Kabbalists, the Rabbi Moshe Cordovero and the Arizal of the times, 15th century. And they said that according to the other sages, they were 100% right. You cannot say that Hashem is the knower, the knowledge, and the known. But from the Ein Sof down, that I explained, the whole creation of the different four worlds and how Hashem contracts his light, then we can say that Hashem is the knower, the knowledge, and the known, because he has contracted himself in a way that he can become, we can connect to him, we can have a relationship with him, right? So according to the teachings of the Arizal, who attained loftier levels than even Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, who was his teacher, he says that the Rambam statement regarding the identical nature of the knower, the known, and the knowledge is only partially accurate. It is incorrect when related to the divine essence itself. So sustaining the Maharal standpoint that one cannot equate the divine essence with wisdom, just as it is impossible to equate it with any other defined thing. The Rambam's assertion pertains only to the divine essence as it's manifest in the realm of Atzilut through the Sephirah of Chokhmah wisdom, where his infinite divine essence is clothed through numerous contractions, which is what I explained. Okay, so anybody wants to read the Hebrew in the page 83 in the bottom? Salud. 83 in the bottom. כמו.
או שנתבאר במקום אחר שאין סוף ברוך הוא מרומם ומתנשא רוממות, אין קץ למעלה מעלה ממהות ובחינת חוכמה בינה דעת, עד שמהות ובחינת חוכמה בינה דעת נחשבת לעשייה גופנית אצלו יתברך, כמו שכתוב, כולם מחוכמה עשית.
Okay. So this conforms with what is explained elsewhere, that the Ein Sof, blessed be He, is infinitely exalted and lofty above and beyond the essence and level of Chokhmah, Bina, and Dat. Remember, Chokhmah, Bina, and Dat, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. These are the three intellectual attributes that we have, and they're replicated in every world. Like the world of Atzilut has Chokhmah, Bina, Dat, the world of Beria has Chokhmah Bina Dat, the world of Yetzirah has Chokhmah Bina Dat, and the world of Asiya has Chokhmah Bina Dat. Each one of us has Chokhmah Bina Dat. The animal soul has Chokhmah Bina Dat. The godly soul has Chokhmah Bina Dat. So it's like all this is like a trademark, that Hashem puts in the world, And everywhere you go, in everything you see, there's Chokhmah Bina Dat. It's like you wear a nice pair of, I don't know, Ferragamos, and you know the Ferragamo has this trademark. The same thing with Hashem, he has a trademark. Okay? And it's interesting. I'm not very scientific or anything, but you see in advances of science, when they put everything under a microscope, everything has like a trademark. And it's all that. It's in everything of aspect of creation. To the extent that the essence and the level of Chokhmah, wisdom, Bina, and Dat, understanding and knowledge, are considered like physical action in relation to God, as it is written, in wisdom have you made them all. So what he's saying here is that he and his wisdom are one. For us, our wisdom is our wisdom. It's something that is part of us. It's something that we have. But Hashem is wisdom. That's the difference between God and the creation. That God is unified. He's one single thing. There's nothing separate from him. There's nothing that, like you see a person has a head and eyes and a nose and a mouth and hands and a torso, and we have organs, and we have all these other parts of us that if they chop up an arm off us, we can still live without the arm, right? But we're missing it. But Hashem is not that he missed an arm. He is the arm. Rabbi Manis Friedman once explained it to me in a very interesting way. He says, you see how your daughters had dolls, right? The girls have dolls. And you see a doll and she has eyes. And even if you have one of those American dolls that they have, nowadays they have these dolls that they look like babies. They're scary. Like really, my granddaughters carry them everywhere. I think they're carrying babies. And they look very, very real. But they're a doll, right? The hand of a doll is the hand of a doll. So we are like the doll. You understand? Like we're the doll in Hashem's perspective. Okay? So, but him, when you talk the hand of Hashem, there's no such thing. He is a hand. He is everything. He is everything. I don't know if that can be understood. It's a little bit abstract. So what he's saying here is God's wisdom and his essence, but rather conveys a connection between the vessel of supernal wisdom and the divine light that is constricted and manifest through it. The relationship between divine wisdom and the divine essence, between divine wisdom and Ein Sof, is incomprehensible and impossible to articulate, except to say that God's wisdom related to him is like physical action is to us. So if you can understand that, it's like Rabbi Gordon says, it will be understood depending to each person. There's these type of things that are so lofty that are hard to understand. But what he's saying is that he is the whole thing. There's no separation from God from the wisdom. There's no separation from God from the understanding. There's no separation of God from the knowledge. He is all that. So to us, wisdom is the absolute upper limit in the highest reaches of the spectrum of our reality, while physical action is the lowest. We would think, okay, Chokhmah, wisdom, intelligence. This is a world based on intelligence. There's 5 different intelligences. There's the SQ, which is spiritual quotient. You have the IQ, which is intellectual quotient. You have a EQ, which is emotional quotient, which this one became famous in the 80s. Like suddenly they realize people have emotions, right? And there's a certain intelligence to them. And then there's a lower IQ, which is a BQ, which is behavioral quotient. And you would ask, which one is more important? No, there's one that is the most important. Spiritual, intellectual, emotional, behavior. Behavior.
Because what you're actually doing. Wow. That makes sense.
So the Alter Rebbe teaches the only thing that matters in the world, the only thing is your behavior.
Yeah.
It really debunks everything, right?
When did that? I never heard of a behavioral one. Yeah. Is that like a new one?
I learned it from Shimon Atzukernik.
Wow.
It's
Test that.
behavior, how people behave. And today you see there's a lot of CBT in therapy, teaching people.
The easiest thing that you can measure.
Is the result is the behavior.
The behavior. So a person
Really
can,
like a culmination of what they're getting emotionally, intellectually, and
It is, it's your composure, it's like.
is the is how you're gonna behave in the world, how you're gonna come through. That's the, like, really, if a person has an IQ of, I don't know, he's a genius, but he acts like a monkey, like, okay, like you have Elon Musk, like a 20 kids everywhere, what good is that intelligence for? He lives in a trailer, okay, it's good because he's bringing a lot of good things to the world, but talking about personally his being, and then you have a simple person, not so intelligent, not so learned, simple, and the person is a mensch, and he's always helping others, and he's always saying nice things to other people. This is Rabbi Amar. This and there's there's a person that's always taking care of their parents and their wife, and they're kind and they're giving, and this is the intelligence.
That's why Judaism is like so different from the other religions, because you don't have to really like believe, you just have to do the actions.
The action.
Like if you're a Christian, as long as you believe in Jesus,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
But in
action.
Judaism, like you don't have to even believe in Hashem, but if you do Shabbat, you do other things. Like,
It's action.
all that
It's
matters.
action. This is the number one important thing in our lives is action. So what he's saying here is that the distance between them is the greatest span that we can possibly comprehend. Though the range between God's wisdom and his divine essence is immeasurably more immense, we utilize this example to appreciate the unfathomable scope of God. Just as one's essential being, one's core itself, far transcends a physical action, that one may do God's wisdom is the lower aspect of his being, encapsulating a negligible degree of his divine essence. His essence far transcends his attributes, the Sephirot and their various manifestations. The divine essence itself cannot be equated at all with the medium through which it manifests. So the Rambam continues. This is, and you want to read in Hebrew?
Yeah,
84?
on the bottom or?
Yeah, 84 on the bottom.
ודבר זה אין ביכולת האדם להבינו על בוריו חו.
So this is something that is not within the human capacity to comprehend clearly. A person can apprehend only that which exists within him to some degree. So we're only able to perceive life according to us. Every person is gonna look at the world according to who he is at that moment in life. You see siblings in a home. If you ask my sister, we grew up in two different homes with two different types of parents. Like we had two complete different experiences. We don't even. I asked her, did we grow up in the same? We slept in the same room. We shared the same closet. We shared the bathroom. We had the same grandma. Everything. We're almost 3 years apart. But for her, her childhood was one thing. For me, it was another complete different reality. So every person is gonna experience life according to what's going on here, right? And it can be the same reality. You see, like there's people that they break a nail and it's like Third World War. It's a disaster. They're depressed for a year, And you see other people that have to go through really hard challenges and they're courageous, they're resilient, they get up, they do, because everything depends of where you are, in your head, in your heart, in your being. So man lacks anything that resembles a consciousness that encompasses all and includes all, that is not external to himself, but with internal. So we're about inside. The whole world is gonna shine over us depending how we feel inside. And so deep within, like divine knowledge, therefore man is incapable of understanding this concept properly. So we are not, this is not so we can understand it. This is not, most of the Tanya is not written so we can understand Hashem. This is not the purpose here. The purpose is that we can understand ourselves through Hashem. So the more you understand yourself, the more you're going to understand Hashem. And what I love about the Tanya is really is about a self-discovery of where you're standing. because your essence is your essence. We all share the same. We're all godly sparks from Hashem. We're perfect. We're beautiful. We shine. We all have the same essence. But where we stand in our lives, everybody's in a different boat. Every person has a different way of looking at the world. Every person has a different way of feeling things. And it's okay. It's not, each person is in a certain way unique. And that's beautiful. And we're not meant to be the same. And not everybody's meant to feel the same way. So when a person is going through a hardship, you cannot tell them, don't cry. It's okay. Don't cry. It's not that bad. That's the worst thing you can say. Because in their perspective, for them, it's the worst thing ever. So our job in life is not to judge or get into people's heads and people's emotions. It's for us to be comforting, compassionate, loving. Sometimes we have to be boundaries, obviously. Sometimes we have to put a little bit of a boundary. But in general, our job is to be a light, someone that holds a hand of someone else. Try to look at the world through their eyes. They say about the Alter Rebbe that when he had Yehidus with people, he had a closet full of white shirts. I don't know if I said this before, but he had a closet full of white shirts. And one day the closet was a little bit open, and the person that came in saw these white shirts, and he thought, how strange, no? This was in his office. So when he comes out, he asks the secretary, what's with the white shirts? Why does he have so many white shirts? He says, because when any person comes here to have a meeting with the Rebbe, they unload themselves. What the Rebbe does is he takes this person and he puts him inside of himself. So he helps this person according to the person, not to what I'm going to give him counsel to do this and that. No, he would really put himself in this person's shirt and see the problem through his being. This is only a Rebbe can do. But he would sweat so much.
Oh my God.
He would sweat so much because he felt the pain of this person. He felt what this person was feeling. And the pain that he held, that at the end of the meeting, he had to change his shirt and receive the new person with a new shirt because he couldn't carry all this. So yes. So it says, it says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. And this is what the Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu when he's up in the mountain getting the Luchot. And he tells Hashem, show me your face. This is the last parasha. And he says, this is the next parasha. And he says to Moshe, he says, I can show you my back, but I cannot show you my face. And he says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. Does not mean that God thinks about other more important things, but rather refers to the way in which God thinks. And so to speak, in the words of the Zohar, which the author of the Tanya quoted above, not with known wisdom, his wisdom does not share the nature and fabric of our wisdom. It's a complete different wisdom. We cannot even understand what we're talking about here. Incomprehensible quality. Because Hashem doesn't look at the world from one angle. He's in the past, in the present, in the future. Everything's happening at the same time. So when we're going through a hardship, we're going through something in our lives, it's not only the picture of the moment, He has generations behind. Once someone asked Rabbi Silverman, why is this happening to me? And he said, for me to answer why this is happening to you, I have to go to the first day of creation, see what happened to this soul from the first day of creation, and look at every generation this soul appeared in this world, and then maybe I can tell you why this is happening to you. We have no idea. Sometimes in life we can say, okay, I understand why this is happening to me. I need to learn this. I need to learn this thing. I need to be more this. I have to work on this midah. Sometimes we have that gift that we're able to correct ourselves when things are happening because we can see them. But why? Really? Why? Why 6 million Jews in the Holocaust? What did we do that was so horrible? That nothing that we did before is measurable with that. Nothing. So we have no idea. So granted, you want to read? Be'ak, 85.
באף שיש רבבות מיני חילוקי מדרגות בנשמות.
So granted, there are myriad types of distinct levels of souls. And we were talking that each soul has a different, we all come from the Ein Sof, but in the coming down to the world, each soul gets fashioned, let's say gets molded. And so you have souls that are molded in a lower world, others are molded in loftier worlds. And so you have very simple souls, or you can have souls that are very, very connected to Hashem. You have souls that are very, very intelligent, or whatever it is. It depends on where the soul is rooted. And it really, what it creates is the capacity to connect to Hashem.
I have a question.
Yes.
So like when I pray to Hashem, I'm able to like really like just cry, like let it out, whatever.
Good for
And
you.
when I do Midrashat, like I'm like bawling. And every time I call my friend and she sees my eyes red, she goes, "Did you do Midrashat?" Like she already knows.
But that's beautiful.
So no, so my question is, she always says, she's like, I wish I could have that sensitivity like you have, which is not something, it's not an
It's
effort,
from your
something-
soul.
Right.
It's from
So
your
the
soul.
question is, there's nothing someone can do to sensitize themselves to that?
Yes, there's way to sensitize yourselves.
Like,
Like,
so that you're able to
yes,
have
eat
that-
kosher, it's news, prayer, more mitzvot with kavanah. All these things make you more sensitive to spirituality. Huh?
Right. Like people that do that, think is a big one.
Yes, because your neshama, this is a garment of your soul, actually. Okay, so your garment of thought, speech, and action maybe is more translucent.
But it could be that more sensitive. No?
It becomes more sensitive.
The thing is, like, for most of my life wasn't kosher, like
Me
nothing,
too.
you know what I mean? And I would cry, like, I would literally just leave this morning we were doing Adon Olam and I was like crying, just reading Adon Olam, because I'm very sensitive girl, like.
So you're
I don't think you guys
sensitive.
even notice, my eyes will like tear up like 20 times throughout like these days.
Oh,
Yeah,
now
nobody
I'm
sees it,
gonna
though.
watch you all the time.
But like, I'm super like.
But it's a garment.
But I agree that like, yeah, you can do things.
It's a
but
garment.
I
It's
think-
something your father was thinking very, very lofty at the moment that you were created, and this is a garment.
Yeah, like it's something that it's not like on purpose. It
Yeah,
just makes me
It's a garment.
It's like, wow, it's so
Is that
beautiful.
fair? Like, but doesn't that make, like, doesn't it give an advantage to some souls
Right.
and not? Like, for example, like, then it like for me, for example, like I felt like I was always more spiritual. Yes, I came from a religious family, but it wasn't to the extent of where I am today. And I felt like no matter which environment I was in, I always felt very connected to the Yadut. So I feel like, yeah, like I get what you were saying, but then how is it fair for other people
Right.
that didn't come from that? It's like saying like, tzaddikim versus like, you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying
Because
like
it's
tzaddikim, but-
not about fair or unfair. It's about each soul has a different journey. And it's about, for some it's easier, for some it's harder. So maybe for a person that is more sensitive, this is not an area that they have to work so much on. Maybe they have to work on another area,
Okay.
and this comes natural. And then there's people that, for example, could be more sensitive in another area. Like, for example, that you can have a person that he would never talk Lashon Hara, even if he didn't even, my father, for example, very simple man, never learned Torah or anything, but he would never in his life say anything bad about anybody. He wouldn't talk about people.
Wow.
This was his thing. So maybe he came to work on his tefillim. Maybe he came to come to eat kosher. I don't know. Each person comes to rectify a certain area. So whatever is easy for you, Baruch Hashem. But whatever is not so easy for you, this is where the work is. And so each person has different.
I'm not sure what you say about the soul that it was created, maybe not created, that you say that it was
It comes
in a-
from different.
Rooted.
it was it went in a better one. Or what-
Not better or worse. It's the qualities. Let's say there's a story, for example.
Four worlds, like
I'm talking the soul, the godly soul comes from the Ein Sof, never ending light.
Right.
Chokhmah of Asilut, okay? Hashem's wisdom.
Okay.
He starts emanating these lights, right? In the world of Atzilut. Then they come down to the world of Beria, where they start to create the individual souls. Then world of Yetzirah, they start to get like a form. And then they come to the world of Asiya, which is where they're put into the body and they start working on this world. Acción.
Some Neshama can come from the different.
Each soul, for example, the souls of the tzaddikim come from Chokhmah of Atzilut. Chokhmah of Atzilut, like the highest of the highest. Direct. And then you have people, you're going to have different, let's call them spectrums. This is a word that they use today, spectrums. And there's different degrees of spectrums of neshamas. So it doesn't mean one is better, one is worse. The Baal Shem Tov used to love that simple Jew, the Pashat Jew, like not very learned. So you have people that it's easy for them to learn Torah. They love it. For them, it's like water. They sink and they drink it and they're in heaven learning Torah. Then you have other people, for them, it's very hard to learn Torah. So this depends on where that soul was rooted. That creates it easier or harder.
You can have a soul come from Olam Beria and one from Olam Ha'asiya.
Where they root, where they get their.
Oh.
Yes. So there's no such thing, good, bad, whatever. There's a story, I love that story of the Baal Shem Tov, that once he had a dream about a man that was going to be buried next to him, and he was the bread maker of the town, very simple man. And he said, I have to know who this guy is. He has to be very special to be buried next to me. So he goes to see him work in the bakery, and he's looking at, he's a simple guy, like nothing special, nice guy, but So he asked him after work, can I talk to you? And he says, can you explain to me what you do during the day? I want to see. He says, very simple. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I come to the bakery. I put my dough the yeast to rise. While it's rising, I run to my parents' home. I take them out of bed. I wash them. I give them breakfast. I walk them around a little bit. I settle them down. I run back to the bakery. And then I knead the dough. I make the breads. I put them in the oven. By 7 o'clock in the morning, people are coming in to buy their breads. I sell the bread. By 11 o'clock, they finished. What do? I put the yeast to rise again. I run to my parents' house. I give them lunch. I walk them around. I settle them down for a nap. And then I come back and I make the second batch of bread for the day. And after I close at, I don't know what it was, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I go back to my parents' home. I give them food. I put them in their pajamas. I'm with them for a while. I put them to sleep. I come home. I have dinner. I take a shower and I go to sleep. And then again the next day, 3 o'clock in the morning. He never prayed, had no time. And the Baal Shem Tov said to him, I came here because I had a dream that you were going to be buried next to me. And I wanted to know what you do that you have the zechut to be buried next to me. And he says, but now I'm wondering what is the zechut I have to be buried next to a person that does such a mitzvah, the kibud avayim, that is exemplary. So, Hashem is the true judge. We have no idea. We just have to do the best we can with what we have. We have to do the best we can with what we have. We're not meant to be the Baal Shem Tov. We're not meant to be this one or that one. We're meant to be each one of us, like Reb Susha said to the day he was dying. He was crying. He was petrified. And the student said to him, Reb Susha, why are you crying? Why are you scared? Reb Susha. He said, I'm scared because when I come up there and I meet Borei Olam, they're not going to ask me, why weren't you like Moshe Rabbeinu? They're not going to ask me that. They're going to ask me, why weren't you Susha? Why weren't you Susha? Why weren't you the best Susha? So each one of us comes with a godly design. We come designed, we have a specific design to do what we need to do in this world with our design. I read a beautiful story in the book On Purpose. I highly recommend it, Mendel Kamelson. And he says the story of this guy that was a very wealthy man. and he went to a certain town for business, and he took his wagon driver. And when they were coming to the town, it was already Shabbat was coming. So they went to the mikvah and got ready for Shabbos, and they come out, and the wealthy man comes in his beautiful suit for Shabbat. He's very elegant, and he sees that there's another wagon that is dipped in the mud. So he says, I'm gonna do a mitzvah. So he goes and he tries to help the other guy take the wagon out of the mud, and his suit gets all dirty, it breaks his back, he hurt his back, he's a mess. He comes to shul like all in mud, right, to pray. Then the other guy, the driver, he was in shul earlier, so he didn't see the thing that happened. So he came to shul, he was elegant, beautiful, he was doing tehillim. So at the end, he invited all the poor people to the hotel for a meal. And this other guy missed the opportunity. So there was, I don't remember who was there, one of the big rabbaim, one of the big tzaddikim, I think it was the Rebbe of Kotz. And he looks at him and says, are you crazy? He says, you're crazy. Each one of you has a job. The wagon driver, he was meant to help the guy with the wagon. He's the one that knows how to pull it out. He's the strong one. He's the one that's gonna do the mitzvah in the best way possible. And the wealthy man had to be cleaning shul, ready to invite the poor people for dinner. He would have given them a much nicer dinner.
Well, maybe that was the other person's opportunity.
No, they were misplaced. They were misplaced. Because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about doing your job to the best capacity. So the best capacity, the rich guy was the one that could give the best food to the poor people. And the other guy was the one that had the strength and the know-how to how to take that wagon out of the mud without ruining his suit and ruining himself. So each person has their own avodah. Every person has their own qualities, their own makeup, their own specialness, uniqueness, to be able to help someone in this world do with what they know, with what they have, in their own area of influence. So if I had to work, I think we would die of hunger. It's a reality. I'm a zero with money. I don't know how to work. I don't know how to make a living. I'm zero. That's the job of my husband. Huh? I can teach. I can teach.
We get so much money as teachers here anyway.
Baruch Hashem, but I can teach. You can teach. You were born to teach.
I'm not interested, you know?
And Hashem will feed you.
My teaching job.
Okay, because you were born to teach.
Yeah, teachers and
Yeah,
Especially nowadays.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so everybody has to know their quality. Everybody has to know what they're made of, and be the susha, be the person you're meant to be. Don't try to be, in this world where everybody wants to be someone else. Be you. Because the world made you, Hashem made you, because there's a portion of the world that is intended for you.
You know, can I ask you a question, how to find that? Like, sometimes I'm wondering, like, I have a lot of skills, but I'm not like amazing at one thing. I'm like,
No, but you the more you do it, the more.
grades, master.
No, you know what? You know how I started teaching? A girl in my community one day, because Vivian Perez, everybody knows Vivian. So when she used to give the class in the JCC, she used to give a class at lunchtime. She used to travel a lot. So she asked me if I could substitute for her. In those days, I used to be in blue jeans and tank tops, okay? But I love learning Torah. I love learning Torah. So I said, Vivian, you're crazy. Are you nuts? Like, how am I going to come and teach a parasha class? Like, there's no way. It's just, if you know Aleph, you teach Aleph. And she told me, and you come and you teach. So I started buying these skirts and these things, and I used to put on a nice scarf on my head to come and teach this class. And one of the girls from my community once came to the class, and she said, Margie, I love how you teach. I love you're funny, you have stories, you have a way. Come, you should do the parasha class of the community. Okay, because the Rebbetzin wouldn't give it, there was no class. And it says, okay, Sina, I'll do it. I'll do it. So for 15 years I was teaching. Then suddenly I started becoming more frum, more the week.
15 years.
No, it started.
While you were teaching, you weren't.
When I started teaching, I used to wear blue jeans. Let's keep it at that.
That's how it was. That's
Blue jeans and tank tops. Suddenly, the closet started becoming more skirts every time I went shopping, and it was very organic. And I started evolving. Here, my friend Eliana knows me forever. And then once I was already with my wig and everything, I started teaching in K-Space. They started calling me for K-Space. I taught a Rosh Chodesh class every month for a Sephardic group. I taught in the ¿cómo se llama? The one in West Dixie, Rabbi Wolf.
Oh.
Highland Lakes. Okay, I was giving like 7 classes a week. Okay. And then suddenly, today I give 18 classes a week. So you ask me if I was good at the beginning. Yeah, I had it, but I was not like I'm now. Like it's been 15 years of work.
But you knew that you had that.
I had no idea. It was imposed on me.
Like it found you.
It followed me. It pursued me.
Like, let's say you go become a teacher when you're 18, and then what if there's something else for you?
Okay, well, that's exactly what happened to me, and I quit my teaching job like a couple months ago, and I'm trying to do other things, and like I keep going back to like.
And I have girls that become lawyers, and at the end they become yoga teachers. Like who? Because you know what? Maybe at a certain time, this is where you need to be at that point. And then Hashem starts moving you around, and he finds a way for you to get to where you need to be. But definitely, you have to love what you do.
I've been like teaching was part of like my life when I was in college, but like something regarding teaching it, like Jewish, not Jewish.
I feel like you could do that.
Different topics.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just feel like Hashem,
The glasses.
like,
Listen to the cues. It pursues you. It pursues you.
But also, you know, it's not good to do. Like, when I was young, I was doing this kedushas, and I was carrying the soda bottles. And I was doing everything, and I carried one or two soda bottles at a time. And this guy came, this young guy, his mother said, he's gonna help you. His mother said, he's gonna help you. 6'4", 210. He lifted the case of soda.
Okay? It was
And they're like, when I'm not supposed to be lifting this.
exactly.
I'm not good at that. I need to know
I love that.
what I'm good at. I'm good at other things.
Okay.
So, like you say, oh, not that. My ego is about, oh, I'm doing everything. I'm tough, I'm strong, I can lift the soda up. No, there's somebody much better than me. You don't
Exactly.
need to save you from the fire.
Exactly.
You don't need to, I'm not the policeman, I'm not the fire person, I'm not the
Brain
soda
surgery
carrier.
or something.
So and wherever you end up doing what you end up doing, know that that's only a facade of the real work. Because the real work is to connect others to Hashem through whatever you do. Okay? That's the work. Is that you come to wherever you come and you are an inspiration to others in whatever area of your life you are, that you're shining and that people look at you and they say, I like how she is. I like her light. I like her connection. I want to be like that. That's that's the reality. And so Hashem puts all these souls in this world with the different capacities and different things. So each one of us helps each other lift the other one up. So to finish off here, granted, there are myriad types of distinct levels of souls. The second soul of every Jew is a portion of God on high. This is the godly spark. A spark of the divine essence, the light of divine, although at their root, all souls are seamlessly one with the divine essence, like your soul with the Rebbe's soul and Moshe Rabbeinu's soul, and the garbage can guy that cleans in Tel Aviv the garbage, the Jewish man. We're all part of the same light. We all come from the same light. And we're there in perfect, in essence, in perfect unity. When they manifest corporeally, they become divided into innumerable gradations and levels. And that's why it says from the water carriers to the sages to the, we all together, everybody together stands together to receive the Torah, everybody, because at the end of the day, we were all one. We were one man with one heart when we received the Torah. So you want to read the Gabu. So one higher than the next without end. As stated in the introduction, people differ from each other in their character, in their overall ability, in their capacity for understanding, and in their attitude. So everybody has different attitudes. Every person has different types of ways of understanding. Like you're a teacher, you can be teaching something, and you have 4 kids in the class that got it right away, and then you have 2 kids that don't get it. Then you have to repeat it 20 times. One got it, the other one needs 50 times of interpretation to be able to get it.
It's in a Montessori school, so it's kind of like they had to figure it out for themselves.
Okay, but I have a daughter.
No, I didn't like it. I'm not like.
I have a daughter, no visual memory, this poor girl, no visual memory. The psychologist says this girl has no visual memory. She cannot take spelling tests.
You?
My daughter. But she graduated from NYU. She's a nurse with masters, and she's a very competent person. You know, it doesn't mean anything.
You know, and it might sound like at first, until you think about it, it might sound funny, but, and I'm sure a lot of people here know her, Sarah Lucy Cohen. She told me once, fake it until you make it. So basic, and it's in the beginning, I was like, well, for you to say that, it sounds, but like I took it. And then, as like week went by, and she kept saying, no, you fake it until you make it. You put on that skirt, and in the first week, you're going to hate it. And in the second month, you're going to be like, okay, I like this one, and then you're going to feel, and you're going to connect with it, and you're going to understand it one day. But you have to push.
We will learn, and then we will do, and then we will learn. It comes. Either way, it comes.
You just have to.
Yeah, I met a girl now on Shabbat. She doesn't learn Torah, and she's keeping Shabbat, and she's keeping Sniut, and I'm like, how did you get here? If you don't learn, like, how did it happen? Says, my soul felt it.
Yeah.
It dragged me into it. And then there's people that need to learn for years until they're able to take that step. So everybody's different. And to finish off here, the Alter Rebbe finishes saying that everybody has a different makeup in every sense of the way. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the same reason, which is to make Hashem real in the world, and everybody with their own capacities. I never forget when I lived in New York. Once I was crossing the street, and there was this guy picking up the garbage from the streets and put it in the garbage truck. And I think he must have been a dancer, like a ballet dancer from one of these Broadway shows during the night. And he would grab the garbage can, and he would swirl completely. And then he would make I don't know how you call it. And then he put the garbage in the truck, and then he would jump on the truck and go like, it was like watching a Broadway show. And I was standing here, and I was like, yeah, you see, a lesson from a garbage collector. Even from him, you can learn that even picking up the garbage in the world can be a nice thing. His job was to pick up the garbage and to keep the streets clean. I met him like a few streets after, and I said, I want to thank you. Thank you for making your job so beautiful. Like, I never imagined that such a job could look so beautiful. So, yeah. We're done?
Here, yes.
Okay, girls.
Thank you. What a beautiful class.
I'm sorry I was a little late, but there was no parking.
What's the difference between this book and the practical one?
There's many now. There's one that is the Tanya. Okay, the Tanya is actually this. Okay, these are all commentaries of Rabbi Steinsveld.
Yeah.
There's the Tanya, which is only this. And then you have one that came out, that was the first one, was called Lessons in Tanya. That was the first one I started teaching from. It was great. It's great. And there's many different ones. There's one from Rabbi Miller.
Yeah, that one. It's
That-
the practical, it's like 3 volumes.
It's the same thing, but with his commentaries. So
Okay.
I love this one with Rabbi Steinsveld because I think he makes it he has very good stories,
Okay.
commentaries, explanations. So I like this one a lot.
So for a beginner, you recommend?
I started teaching I still have one student that learns from the old one. But every time they become better and better.
Otro día creo que me expliques un poco mejor.
¿Qué te pasó?
Me quedé esquiando. Otro día, cuando tengamos tiempo, me explicas, porque entendí un poco, pero lo de las almas. Quiero.
Sí.